avoid moving to the wrong area in Toronto in 2026. Toronto's housing market just dropped 6% in the last year, but here's what nobody's telling you. Choosing the wrong neighborhood will cost you way more than any price correction ever could. I'm Heather Hadden, and after helping hundreds of families relocate to Toronto, I've seen the same mistakes happen over and over. So today, I'm breaking down Toronto's most searched neighborhoods so you can avoid the one decision that turns your dream move into a daily frustration. Downtown core. Picture walking to your morning meeting, grabbing lunch without getting in a car, then strolling home past the CN Tower. That's the downtown promise, and it's real. Downtown has the best walkability in the city. We're talking financial district, entertainment district, harborfront. The area runs from Bloor Street down to the lake between Bathurst and Don Valley. But here's the thing. This comes with trade-offs that catch people off guard. Housing here is mostly high-rise condos. If you're picturing a cute low-rise building with character, you're gonna have a hard time finding that downtown. In November 2025, the average condo price was around $663,000, down 3.8% from last year. So prices have come down, but you're still paying a premium for that prime location. Parking is another huge issue. Many buildings charge $200 to $300 a month just for one spot. Some don't even have visitor parking. If you need a car for work or you have family visiting regularly, this becomes a real problem. You know what I mean? And then there's the noise. But don't worry, because I'll show you the neighborhood coming up that gives you peace and quiet while sacrificing access. Stay tuned. Now, the entertainment district, it has Rogers Centre, Scotiabank area, the CN Tower, Ripley's Aquarium. Game nights mean crowds. Concerts mean traffic. Street festivals mean detours. If you value quiet evenings at home, this might not be your vibe. The transit access is incredible. You've got Line 1 and Line 2 subways, plus Union Station with GO Transit, and that 25-minute up express ride straight to Pearson Airport. If you travel for work, that's a game changer. So downtown works beautifully. If you don't need a car, you're comfortable with condo living, and you want everything within walking distance. But if you need space, quiet, or parking, the next few neighborhoods tell a completely different story. Before we move ahead, I know that trying to figure out which Toronto neighborhood actually fits your lifestyle and commute is hard. I help people navigate these decisions every day. Whether you're prioritizing walkability, green space, or transit access, I can walk you through what's available right now and what makes sense for how you actually live. My contact info is in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get back to it. Leslieville, Riverside. Ever notice how some neighborhoods feel like they're trying too hard to be trendy? Leslieville doesn't have that problem. This little East End gem area gives you independent shops, cafes, restaurant. Queen Street East has indie, boutique, vintage stores, art galleries. You've got Jimmy Simpson Park right there. Plus, you're close to the beaches. Victorian homes, many recently renovated, mixed with newer townhouses and some condos. So you're getting more housing variety than downtown. More character, more options for actual houses with yards. Semi-detached homes in Leslieville typically range from $1.2 million to $1.8, while detached homes can go from $1.5 million to well over $2.5 million. Townhouses here average around $900 to $1.3 million, and condos start around $550 for a one-bedroom. Now, if you're thinking this is a sleepy residential area, it's not. It's active. It's vibrant, like me. Some people love that energy. Others find it overwhelming after a while. The commercial strips can feel busy, especially evenings and weekends. Transit includes the 501 Queen and 504 King streetcars with GO Transit stations nearby. And speaking of transit, the area I'm covering in a few minutes has a major subway upgrade opening any day now that changes everything. Stay with me. Now, here's where it gets tricky. If your job is downtown, the streetcar works. But if you need to get across the city quickly, you're looking at multiple transfers and longer commute times. So it's got great perks. Strong sense of community for people wanting that authentic Toronto neighborhood vibe with actual houses and yards. Leslieville delivers. Which brings us to a neighborhood that takes that urban energy in a totally different direction. Liberty Village, less than $500,000 can get you into Liberty Village. But before you get excited, you need to understand what you're actually signing up for. This neighborhood west of downtown is known for its young professional vibe and modern condo living. It's high density, it's urban, it's social. Condos here range from about $470,000 to over $700,000. Housing options are pretty much entirely condos and stacked townhouses. If you're looking for a detached home with a yard, this isn't it. If you want a quieter, more family-oriented environment, this probably isn't it either. Think single people with dogs. The vibe here is fast-paced. You've got bars, restaurants, fitness studios everywhere. The area attracts tech, media, and design professionals. Converted loft-style buildings, housing startups, and creative agencies. If you're in that world, you'll find your people here. But I'm going to be honest, the high density leads to congestion on streets and public transit. 504 King Street car gets packed during rush hour. Streets feel crowded during events and weekends, especially with Rogers Centre and BMO Field nearby. Now there's a major transit upgrade coming. The Ontario line, set for completion in 2031, includes a new station at King and Bathurst. That's going to be huge. But for now, you're dealing with streetcars and buses, and the ongoing Ontario line construction is causing serious disruption. So Liberty Village works if you're a young professional, you want walkable amenities, and you're okay with high-density urban living. But if you need quiet space or you're frustrated by construction and crowds, the next area gives you urban access with a totally different feel. Yonge and Eglinton, Midtown, construction barriers everywhere you look, detours, noise, crowds, and yet people keep moving here. Why? Midtown is one of the city's most densely populated spots. You've got restaurants, shops, entertainment, all centered around that Yonge and Eglinton intersection. Corporate offices and residential towers creating this bustling environment. The housing includes high-rise condos, older apartment towers, and single-family homes in the surrounding residential streets. Condo prices here average around $750,000 to $850,000 for a 2-bedroom, with 1 bedroom starting around $580,000. In the surrounding residential streets, detached homes range from $1.8 million to over $3 million, while semi-detached homes typically go for $1.3 to $2 million. So you have options, but the high density means it can feel crowded and it's definitely not a quiet neighborhood. When it comes to transit, Eglinton Station on Line 1 gives you direct access downtown, and here's the big thing. The Eglinton Crosstown LRT that has been under construction for 20 years. Line 5 reached substantial completion as of December 2025 and is expected to open sometime in early 2026. That east-west connectivity is going to be huge. But here's what you need to know. The construction related to that LRT and all the condo developments has been going on for years, people. Years! Traffic congestion, noise, pedestrian detours, and even once the LRT opens, there's still ongoing condo construction everywhere you look. You're also not near the waterfront here. If you imagine being close to the lake, this isn't it. And while you're central, you're not necessarily getting the shortest commute to the financial district compared to actually living downtown. So Yonge and Eglinton works if you want modern buildings, strong transit access, and you're okay with an urban, high-density environment. But if you're sensitive to construction noise or crowds, let's look at something different. North York Center. You know what surprises people about North York Center? It's not the subway access or the shopping. It's how urban it feels. This high-density hub has office towers, shopping, and residential high-rises. It's a planned community from 1960 and 70. You've got Mel Lastman Square, Toronto Centre of the Arts, North York Central Library, extensive shopping, mostly high-rise condos and apartments with a range of units and prices. 1-bedroom condos here started around $480,000, with 2 bedrooms averaging about $650,000 to $800,000. Larger 3-bedroom units range from $850,000 to over $1.1 million. So if you're looking for a variety of condo options, you'll find it here. North York Center Station on Line 1 gives you excellent subway access, but here's the thing. It's an urban environment that may feel denser than expected, especially if you're coming from a suburban area. Plus, some people find all those high rises impersonal or overwhelming. And if you're wanting larger private yards or detached homes, this isn't it. Housing is pretty much entirely high rise. And while amenities are concentrated in one area, which some people love, it doesn't give you that neighborhood character that areas like Leslieville have. You've got strong service access, major transit, but it feels very urban, very dense. For those wanting high-rise living with excellent transit connections, this delivers. But character and community, that's where the Junction comes in. Victorian homes next to craft breweries, next to art galleries. The Junction doesn't fit into a tidy category, and that's exactly the point. The craft brewery scene here includes High Park Brewery, Junction, and nearby West End Brewery District. You've got independent restaurants, cafes, arts venues, vintage shops. The West Toronto Rail Path provides these great car-free cycling and walking routes. Victorian homes, converted lofts, newer townhouses give you more character than many areas. Detached Victorian homes here range from $1.3 million to $2 million, while semi-detached homes typically sell for $950,000 to $1.5 million. Townhouses average $750,000 to $1.1 million, and condo prices start around $500,000 for a one-bedroom. Now, transit access varies depending where you are. Dundas West Station connects to Line 1 and 2 with a short walk to GO and UP Express at Bloor Station. But depending on where you are in the Junction, you might need extra connections to reach the subway. The area has this creative, evolving environment that some people absolutely love. It feels less corporate, more authentic, but if you need direct subway access from your front door or you're frustrated by areas that are still figuring themselves out, the Junction might feel inconvenient. So it works beautifully if you like independent businesses, you want character over polish, and you're okay with transit that might require an extra connection. Speaking of character, the next neighborhood takes historic charm to a whole different level, the Distillery District. Cobblestone streets, Victorian warehouses, Instagram crowds everywhere. Welcome to the Distillery District. The pedestrian-only area turned into an art studio and culture hub. Galleries, boutiques, restaurants, breweries. It's very gorgeous. It's historic and it draws massive crowds. But the visitor traffic is constant. Weekends are packed. Festivals bring even more people. If you're living here, you're sharing your neighborhood with tourists and event goers all the time. Some people love living in the energy of it all. Others find it exhausting to navigate crowds just to get home from the grocery store. Now, housing is limited, mainly condos and loft-style spaces in converted buildings at premium prices. Loft-style condos here command premium pricing, with one bedroom starting around $550,000 and two bedrooms ranging from $850,000 to well over $1.2 million. Larger character-rich loft spaces can exceed $1.5 million. You're paying for location and character, but your housing options are narrow. Transit here includes streetcar access and walking distance to King Station, which is decent, but not the most convenient. So Distillery District works if you want arts and event access at your doorstep, if you love historic architecture and you're energized by constant activity. But if you want actual peace and green space, our final neighborhood is basically the opposite of everything we just covered. High Park, North and South. Almost 400 acres of park. That's bigger than some entire neighborhoods, and it's right at your doorstep. High Park is Toronto's largest park. Trails, a zoo, playgrounds, sports facilities, gardens, and those Japanese cherry blossoms each spring. If outdoor space is a priority, you can't beat this location. The neighborhood is quiet and family-oriented, mainly single-family detached homes with yards. Homes in High Park North typically range from $1.2 million to $2.5 million, with some properties exceeding $3 million, depending on size and condition. High Park South tends to be slightly more affordable, with detached homes ranging from $1 million to $2.2 million. For transit, High Park and Keele Station on Line 2 give you transit access, but here's what you need to know. North and South areas vary in housing and transit convenience. Some spots are closer to the subway than others. Some have more housing variety than others, and the distance from certain job areas may not suit those wanting faster commutes. If you're working in the financial district or somewhere requiring cross-city travel daily, you're looking at longer commute times than living downtown or even at Yonge and Eglinton. High Park trades convenience for quality of life. You get space, nature, quiet streets. For families prioritizing outdoor access and a slower pace, this combination is increasingly hard to find in Toronto. The difference between these neighborhoods isn't choosing the best one. It's knowing how you live day to day and picking the place that fits that rhythm. A lot of people chase what looks good on paper, then end up stuck with a commute or routine that never really works for them and their lifestyle. If you're relocating to Toronto and want to walk through which neighborhoods actually fit how you live and work, email me at heather@haddenhomes.com today, and I'll help you narrow it down. Before you waste time touring the wrong areas, all my contact info is in the description. Check out the video I've linked here. You might find your perfect area isn't even on this list. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you there.